Welcome back, folks, to Santa Cruz Hometown Station, AM-1220 KHTS. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John, the radio digest version of Santa Cruz Gazette. For all you need to know to be in the know, and what we want to know and be in the know about right now is sports.
We've got our station manager of KHTS.
Yep.
That's me.
Our boss.
Yep, he's here.
Am
Because Mr. Sports
should abuse my power.
I know. Mr. Sports wasn't available today. But Kyle Jellyman.
last and only choice.
Yes. Yeah, it was actually you or dead air for 10 minutes.
Rating spike.
And some people may want dead air after.
Okay, I'm going first.
All right.
I personally was shocked at the way Ohio State dominated Oregon.
Not just Oregon. The last 3 weeks of that season.
Well, true, and Alabama.
Then you guys need to watch more college football.
I just thought the way that they manhandled Oregon's defense.
Who gives
on the line.
who in the Pac-12, which you guys obviously think is the best conference ever?
Yeah, you're right. The what did they end? The ACC? Yeah, the ACC. Go Maryland.
Big Ten, baby.
Go
Ten.
Terps.
Big Ten. Turn the page. Is there a sports expert doesn't know when the Terps are in the Big Ten now? Jeez. No. What team in the Pac-12 gives Oregon the most trouble?
Arizona.
Wrong. You want to try that one again?
They beat them twice in the last 3 years.
But
That sounds troublesome to me.
Historically, who gives them the most trouble?
I don't know.
Stanford.
Okay.
Okay? Because why?
Size of their line.
Size of their line, their offensive and defensive lines. Oregon runs a lot of plays. Oregon tries to get people tired. You've got a big offensive line, big defensive line. What did Ohio State, the running back from Ohio State, he's still running through Oregon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay? You kept them off the field. You made them come from behind. That's how you beat
But John,
Oregon.
how did you know that? And all the experts didn't know that.
Nobody
all
asked
the
me.
experts were saying
Nobody
because
asked me.
Oregon was favored by 6.
Yeah, and I would have bet the mortgage.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
Kinda did.
See, I didn't think I can't bet against Urban Meyer ever again.
Thank you.
Is what
I
the, yeah,
didn't.
he's the
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll be buying you beers later today. Okay? I did very well in that game. No, and that was the reason. It's like, okay, Oregon, flash, huge. And they against the most good teams, okay? Most good teams, they're going to win because they're going to it's attrition. It's a battle of attrition. Michigan State, great team, okay? Lost them beginning of the year. Couldn't keep up with them.
Right.
Ran them off the field. But then you look at Ohio State and how Ohio State won those games. Obviously not quarterback play because they were in the third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay? They played it with their defensive speed and their defensive size and their defensive power.
Wore them down.
And they wore them down. It was not that surprising. The surprising thing to me, and you guys can answer this one, did anybody really care up until that game? It seemed like everybody was
With the other
college
bowls?
footballed out.
Yeah, it was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
I
it wasn't
kinda-
Super Bowl week.
Yeah. But the thing was, I still like the bowls. I still like the other bowl, the Peach Bowl and all that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I still like them, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
It wasn't.
And it's
wasn't-
going to be worse next year because the 2 playoff games are on New Year's Eve. And then they're still going to have the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl the next day on New Year's Day with regular teams that didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, I did not know that.
And then
Yeah.
you're going to have
Weird.
the championship a week later. It's really going to be anticlimactic.
I'm telling you, it seems like they almost need to have the playoff game before the Bowls start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final game, the last
On
game,
New
New
Year's
Year's
Day,
Day.
yeah.
Same way they used
The
to
same
do
way
it.
they used to do it. Yeah,
yeah.
it just doesn't. It was surprising.
John, you mentioned Ohio State's third-string quarterback, Cardell Davis.
Cardell Jones.
Played
Jones.
3
Cardell
games.
Jones, not Davis. Jones.
Jones. 3 games, 3 phenomenal games. That's all he played the whole year. And then everybody was saying he should go pro because he's got 2 guys that were ahead of him on the depth charts. He elected to stay in school.
As he should.
Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, but he lost the job already.
He hasn't.
So do you give him the job based on the last 3 games?
No, absolutely
No.
not. You open it
It is
up.
it's
You
an
open
open-
it up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, I think he's going to be, honestly, I think it's the same. It was a win-win for him because I don't think he'll be drafted high
No, he
come
wouldn't be
next
drafted.
year anyway. I think he's a 3rd round, 4th round type of
If
quarterback.
that.
Well, based on the last 3 games, which he was good, but he didn't change my life. He's not Marcus Mariota. He's not Jameis
didn't-
Winston.
He didn't lose the game.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
okay, but let me ask you
Did he
this:
win the
based
game?
on that championship,
Not really.
based on that championship game, who looked like a more pro quarterback, Marietta or Jones?
Mariota,
think
because
so?
well,
Yeah.
because they ran for 200,000 yards. I think
Yeah.
is what they ended up with in that game. They didn't do any passing the ball down.
He's
going to
move to Oregon and run for Congress. He's running. So
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
I'll be here all week.
Overall, did you guys like the 4 games?
Yes.
The 14 playoff?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it could be any more unless they change it around because like I said, the buzz wasn't there for the championship game. It was kind of like, oh yeah, thrown in.
But I think what Kyle's referring to is the 2 playoff games. Those
if they bump it, I mean, they're off for how many days in between the Big Ten championship game?
Yeah.
And why not play a playoff game there? Or you could expand it to 8 if you wanted to.
See, I don't know about expanding it to 8. And the reason I say that is because I looked at the top 8 teams that were in the polls.
Yeah.
There was zero controversy with those. And
No.
that's not what college football wants. They want people to talk about it. But if you were to look, because the number 9 team was Ole Miss, and they had 3 losses. So you look at those top 8 teams, and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly how it should be.
Right.
But nobody wants
Well,
that.
the thing that messed up is the committee put in TCU.
Yeah, they messed that
They
up.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have put. I mean, they weren't. But you
Even though
couldn't put
TCU looked a lot better than Florida State did.
well, Alabama looked
Yeah,
very good. It wasn't so much Florida State looking.
But
bad.
you look at it this way, though. Florida State got walloped by a team that got walloped in the next round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they didn't really deserve to be there. If it was the BCS, which this is great. I love the fact that if it was the BCS, the title game would have been Alabama and Florida State.
Yes.
exactly.
Because, this is great.
Right.
That's why I think it's great.
I think it provides us something to talk about. The top 4 reveal show every week was just fascinating.
Reality TV, man.
Yeah, it was fascinating. So it did exactly what it was supposed to do from a season standpoint.
I don't know if I want it to go to 8 teams now. Like before, I was like, oh yeah, of course I want 8 teams. But now I'm kind of like I'm on the fence about it.
I think I agree.
I think it would just. The reason I wanted it would get rid of the controversy. You take the 6 winners of the conferences plus 2 at large.
You could do that.
So this year you would have had the 6 winners of the conference, and you would have had TCU and Michigan State would have been.
Right,
exactly.
And I can see that, but like I said, without moving it around a little bit, they could have the entire month of December.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, the reason the championship game was on Monday night was the NFL playoffs.
Yep.
You couldn't do it Saturday.
No, you can't compete with them.
You can't compete with that.
Yeah.
But you've got the entire month of December.
Yeah.
From a sports standpoint, the NFL.
I don't know why they've always done that though. With the
it's-
BCS, it's always been a bad BCS championship game. Like it's
Yeah.
never been fun to watch.
No.
Florida State actually,
There's been a
Florida
couple
State,
good games.
Florida State and Alabama was a good game,
Yeah.
and then obviously Texas and USC
was a
was
good
one of
game.
the best football
Yes.
games I've ever seen.
There's a couple good.
Yeah, but for the most part, the quality of play was really bad because they had so much time off and
Yeah.
they,
The first half of the game.
knocking rust off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
So it would seem to make sense. Play a playoff. Go to 8. Put your playoff games in December.
Yeah.
The championship game is January 1st.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
There you go.
All right, let's
Okay,
make the
well, we
change.
just figured it out.
All right,
I'll talk to the
college is
NCAA.
over, guys. It's time to talk pro. We got 2 big playoff games Sunday. So when we come back,
All right, fine, Doug. You know, he's the station manager. We don't even. We can just do all the commercials the last segment of the show and just talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Works for me.
All right, you're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS with our special guest Kyle. Valencia's hometown, or Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Valencia's too.
I was
for
thinking,
the most part,
I had questions about Valencia basketball, but I forgot you don't know anything about high school basketball.
don't.
All right, we'll be right back.
now can I talk, Peter? Thank you. We are back on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. This is our sports segment with station manager Kyle Jellings.
Keeping you on your toes, Peter Marquez.
I think it's just how about it just a sports.
Now listen, before we get started, I wrote this down before the first week 1 about your guys' prediction who was going to be in the Super Bowl, and some of your predictions are already eliminated. John, you predicted Green Bay and Denver in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Well, Denver's out.
Do you think so?
Mr. Football, who's not with us today, picked New England and Green Bay. He still has a shot. Mr. Jellings, Kyle, picked Seattle and Denver.
I was teetering between Cincinnati and Denver.
teetered the wrong way, my friend.
Teetered
The
the
only
wrong way.
reason he's
but
doing
look-
this is Doug's picks were
Because my pick was New England and Seattle.
Oh
See,
my
that-
goodness.
Hello.
He went
Looking
with
good.
chalk. That's why do you think he did that? If he was notice he did not. Did we ever talk about who won the pick contest?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, by how many games, Doug?
A bunch.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know.
He didn't win.
Anyway, big games this week.
He didn't win.
He published it.
He published it.
And the
So-
first thing that bothers me is, and it's not a big deal, but why are they having the game in the eastern part of the country where it's going to be freezing late? Why didn't they have that game first and then the
'Cause they want the
game in
Patriots to go to the
Seattle?
Super Bowl.
Because
Conspiracy
it's simple.
theory.
Okay, wait a minute. What leads into prime time?
What do you mean?
You're missing the entire point. When you watch a football game at 4:00 back east,
Yeah,
okay, it's over at
Oh.
7:00. It leads right into prime time, doesn't it?
60 minutes.
60 minutes,
Yeah.
exactly.
One
Coming
of
up
the
next.
highest rated
Coming
shows.
up next, except for on the West Coast. Thank you very much. How many times have you heard that? I used to go, how come they don't have 60 Minutes on the West Coast? You guys are dumb. It's a great show.
Is there anybody rooting for the Patriots besides people that live in New England?
It's kind of like it's like rooting for Brad Pitt to get the girl.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
No, I'm rooting for them because I want a good Super Bowl, and I don't think Indianapolis would be a good representative.
That'd be so much fun having. Okay, this is a possibility. Okay, and this blows my mind. Okay, Andrew Luck has the possibility, as of right now, he has the possibility to beat Peyton Manning
and Tom
Brady, and Aaron Rodgers in consecutive weeks to win a Super Bowl, which would be one of the craziest things ever.
Yeah, true enough. Can you imagine? I wonder what they were at the beginning of the season.
I don't think Indianapolis has the defense to be able to.
Yeah, that's the issue.
No,
that's
actually,
the main issue.
I'm okay with their defense. Who's their running back?
That's a good question. I think the biggest issue with them is Andrew Luck's going to try and do too much.
Yeah.
And he'll make some costly mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's really, honestly, it's not technically his fault.
No, they don't have the tools.
They just don't have
And
what
it's going to be interesting because if I were Belichick, I would play every possible combination of defenses you could possibly come up with to confuse him.
Oh, yeah.
And then stop doing that, which would confuse him even more.
Yeah, but that kid's a talent, man. He's going to be.
Yes.
He's going to break all of Peyton's records, man. He's if Aaron Rodgers, or he's going to break all of Aaron Rodgers' records, I should say.
Thank you. Just say franchise records.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't count. He's going to break
just
Johnny
wondered-
Unitas' franchise records.
Typically, dome teams that play their home games in domes don't do well, although they did beat Denver in Denver. But I think that's
Denver
because
was banged
Denver
up.
didn't
Denver was
play
banged
very
up.
Real.
well.
They
Denver
played
was beat up.
terrible.
Yeah.
They played
So I just
terrible.
don't think Indianapolis has much of a choice in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah.
Tom Brady. This is their 10th AFC Championship
Yeah.
game. Yeah, Brady and Belichick. That's insane to me.
That'll never happen again. I think.
That's crazy.
All right, let's jump to the other game. Green Bay at Seattle. Remember what happened in Week 1? Green Bay played in Seattle.
Okay.
Does that have
All
anything
right.
to do with it?
Here you go.
No.
Stat of the day. Thank you, Dan Patrick. 7 times it's occurred before where the teams that played the first week meet in the NFC Championship games.
And?
This is the 7th time. All 6 times the team that won the first week has won.
Really?
Really? Okay.
Look at
it's
that.
over then.
I know.
We don't need to talk about
Stat
it.
of the day. Stat of the day.
Seattle is playing out of their mind.
Yes, they are.
They are playing out of their mind. Russell Wilson is the least mistake-prone quarterback in the league. It's
He's
like
so Trent Dilfer. It's
it's
not even funny.
crazy, except for he's a better
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah, there
He
is
can
that.
move, and it's really going to come down. I was talking to Justin Powell. He's a big Packers fan. He's upstairs, sales kid, and he was saying third downs are going to be big in this game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
third downs are going to be huge.
They can get him off the field. But the problem is, Rodgers is hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's still
And
dynamic,
he's still-
which is
he's gonna
crazy.
have-
His arm is unbelievable.
But if it takes him a quarter, because for some reason against the Cowboys, it seemed to take him a quarter and a half to warm up.
yeah.
So if it's a tear or pull.
Oh, he's
like
tore
that-
up. He's visibly not
Yeah.
mobile
Right.
and that's where he's trouble is, when he's moving around.
Yeah.
He obviously in the pocket he's fantastic, but when he's moving around, he makes things happen. Finding Jordy Nelson, because I think they share a brain. Him and
it's-
Jordy just downfield, they just huck that thing
going
down.
But against Seattle's defense, is that going to
That's
happen?
the issue, yeah. And there is what's his name, Gabe Chancellor, the kid last week who had
Yeah.
the 91-yard touchdown
right.
return, 11 tackles or something crazy like that.
Well,
And Earl Thomas on the other side, and then
Thomas
Richard
and-
Sherman's
yeah,
just
they went after Chancellor.
Yeah.
That's why he had so many tackles and
oh
interceptions.
man, yeah,
and
but
crap.
he was you couldn't have a better game as a safety
No.
in that. So it's just like
Yeah,
that
it-
secondary is scary, man. And then they can control the ball, and Russell Wilson is like weird because he's not flashy at all, but he just does what he needs to do to win the game,
Right,
and
yeah.
that's what he does.
No,
he
that's
just
a good
wins
point.
game.
Yep.
All right,
This is
so we've
the
got
third year.
So you got Green Bay. You've got Seattle, New England in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want it. I'm rooting for the other. I think. Well, no, I'm okay with Seattle getting in, but I'm rooting for the Colts hardcore. There's no way I can't.
Okay.
I'm a Raiders fan.
But do you think
so
if the
it's-
Colts ended up playing Seattle, I think that'd be a blowout.
Nah,
I do.
Not in the Super Bowl. 2 weeks
Nah,
to
probably not.
Chuck
Probably
Pagano. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, 3 weeks.
What's
Catchers and pitchers report. 3 weeks.
that? Oh man.
In the Dodgers station, are you excited about that?
Yes, I am excited about that. It's it's getting into that window where the Dodgers need to win soon, or it's
Yes.
going to be another long time. So.
Yes.
And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good
And
about
it
this
also,
year.
not to put a damper, if you don't have a Time Warner TV, again, you're not going to be watching the games.
That's true.
Yeah, but we're going to listen to the games.
On
Everybody.
your home station,
Ooh.
AM-1220 KHTS.
See what I did there?
That was good.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
good. Hey.
But no, I'm excited for baseball.
It's-
I'm
hey,
always- how the O's doing? How are O's doing?
Oh, they're going to look good.
Okay, good.
Did you know?
I don't like their color scheme.
60 years ago today, they 60 years ago, not today. They played their first
This
game
year.
in
I
Buffalo.
thought we're done with this.
man.
We're
Done
done
with
with
that.
60 years ago.
Wow, how's that going, by
They
the way?
lost to Detroit 3-0.
Do you remember that, Doug?
Doug was there. No, you nothing to say to Doug?
Doug, happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Big
Thank you.
6-0.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You don't
Once
look a
again-
day over 59.
Yeah, about 4 days over 60. No.
All right, we got to go.
All right.
We got to
this is
go.
the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. Our special guest, Kyle Jennings. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week. Peter, as always, thank you very much. We are out.